welcome. I am Jess Countmans with Guided by Equus, and I'm here with your HorseWisdom Universal Energy Forecast for the week of June 24th. This is the final week of June, a month of completions and endings that actually lead to beginnings. And these horses showed up this morning. They kept coming to the fence while I was feeding calves, just kind of sitting there witnessing and watching and observing, and yet it felt like they really had something that they wanted to offer for this week. So I didn't even really tune into them until I'm here now with them. And they are all kind of moving and shifting and showing up in different partnerships and pairs than they normally have. And I have my larger group together right now, and they're kind of circling me. And what I'm getting is, still there's almost that sense of tears that want to kind of spring to my eyes, that feel like is part of this release of those things that aren't ours, to connect to that deeper truth that's within us. And this last week actually is going to bring, the word wisdom is coming, but that I feel like is one of my key words that I always talk about. But that we're supported in creating space to find that wisdom this week. And so just having to take a deep breath, and I'm actually really feeling my lower back right now. Fancy, who's right behind me, just touched me there and kind of connected me to that sense. But that this week, to give ourselves space to find that wisdom within. And Snowden is standing just opposite of me and looking kind of through me and into me just to support this. And there's a lot of licking and chewing and yawning going on. So to really make space this week to allow that wisdom to kind of flow through, and that wisdom being to help you access the next step, access the next piece of what it is, of what kind of wants to be yours and brought through you, to access how to gain the, I'll use the word mobility and capability of using your physical body and your emotional body and your mental body in union and in unison to have greater clarity on something that maybe you can feel but you're unsure about in your life right now. And I know that deeply resonates for me with wanting to bring through these horse wisdom cards of this herd that has kind of brought me to where I am today. And that started back in 1991 with the purchase of our first Morgans, and has kind of led me to where I am now with these guys. And along the way there has been loss and gain, and so it's actually just really about that cycle of evolving to help us create more awareness and be able to move that out into the world, I guess is the best way I can put it. And even with saying those words, it's like something shifted inside of me that is now helping that energy ground down through my legs, which I can really feel. And Eagle's over there yawning. And that there's a lot of support this week, but we have to be the ones that make that conscious choice to create the space in our life for that wisdom to find us. Because if we're so busy trying to follow those paths that we think where we might find it, it's actually not those paths where we find it. It's us creating space in our lives and ourself and our world that allows it to come to us. So almost inviting it to come to us by clearing the way for it to find us. And just taking a deep breath on that, and almost like having to close my eyes to kind of go backward and reset something in the past that pushed us into not allowing ourselves to be in that being space where we are that invitation for it. And so this week is, I think, really about just connecting with that. So Eagle's yawning again, and just going to shift around, and I have all of these guys supporting it. So much love to you guys from Guided by Equus Herd and myself this week, and I would love to hear what that means for you, and if you feel like you, once you give yourself that space, what comes through for you. Because it might not come through as a this, and this, or this is your next step, but it's that creating that space that it can find you, and it can show you what you need to know to help make sense of it all. So again, another deep breath, and much love from myself and the herd. Take care, and we will talk to you as July shows up next week.